You didn't say it all at once. It came in pieces, in comments, in reactions, in the way you looked at me. When I was being honest, when I was being real. You said I was too much, so I became nothing. Not instantly, not on purpose. You said I was too much, so I became nothing. And I didn't even realize when I started disappearing. I remember that night, we were sitting on your bed. I was talking, actually talking, not small talk, not surface level. Something real, something that mattered. And you just stared, not engaged, not curious, just waiting for it to end. And then you said, why do you always make things so deep? And I laughed, not because it was funny, but because I didn't know what else to do. You said I was too much, so I became nothing. I started cutting my thoughts in half before I even said them. Started simplifying my feelings so they wouldn't sound too intense. Started pretending I didn't care as much, even when I did. I remember how I used to be open, expressive, honest. Now I pause before I even speak, because I don't wanna feel that again. That look, that tone, that feeling of being too much. You said I was too much, so I became nothing. I stopped sharing, stopped explaining, stopped opening up, because every time I did, it felt like I was doing something wrong. And I started believing it. That's the worst part, I believed it. I told myself, maybe I am too emotional. Maybe I should just be easier. But easier for who? Because it wasn't easier for me. It was exhausting, carrying everything inside just to keep things calm. I remember one moment I caught myself mid-sentence, stopping, because I thought, this is too much. And I didn't finish, and that scared me, because that wasn't me, that was someone trying to be accepted by someone who couldn't handle the real version. You said I was too much, so I became nothing. But now I see it clearly. I wasn't too much, you just weren't enough. Enough to understand, enough to listen, enough to meet me where I was. And I changed myself. For that, I made myself smaller, quieter, less real, just to fit. And that's not love, that's survival. I remember the exact moment everything clicked. I was alone, thinking about everything, and I realized I miss who I was before I met you. Before I started doubting myself, before I started editing my own thoughts just to be accepted. You said I was too much, so I became nothing. But I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not shrinking, I'm not filtering, I'm not pretending, because the right person won't make me feel like I need to be less, to be loved, to be loved. To be loved. It didn't start like that. At least I don't think it did. In the beginning, everything felt natural, easy, light, real. I didn't have to try. I just was, and that was enough. But somewhere along the way that changed, and I didn't notice it at first, because it wasn't obvious. It was subtle, gradual. You made me feel like I had to earn you. Not directly, not out loud, but in everything. You made me feel like I had to earn you. Like your attention was something I had to deserve. I remember the first time I felt it. We were talking and I said something small, and you barely reacted. No interest, no follow-up, no real presence. And I felt it, that shift. Like I had to say something better, something more interesting, something that would make you actually care. And that thought stayed with me. You made me feel like I had to earn you. So I tried, I really did. I became more attentive, more careful, more intentional with everything I said, everything I did, every message, every moment. Like I was being evaluated, like I was being watched, like I had to prove that I was worth your time. I remember how I used to text you without thinking. Now I rewrite messages 3-4 times just to make sure they sound right. Not too much, not too little, not too emotional, not too distant, just perfect, just enough to keep you interested. And that's exhausting, because love shouldn't feel like that. It shouldn't feel like performance. It shouldn't feel like effort just to be noticed. You made me feel like I had to earn you. And I started losing myself without realizing. I stopped being natural, stopped being spontaneous, stopped being me, because I was too focused on being enough for you. I remember one night I was telling you something that mattered, and halfway through you checked your phone and I stopped mid-sentence, and you didn't even notice. In that moment, that exact moment, said everything, because I was trying and you weren't. I was investing and you were just there. You made me feel like I had to earn you. And I hate that I stayed, I hate that I kept trying, I hate that I kept thinking, if I just do a little more, if I just try a little harder, if I just become a little better, then maybe you choose me. But that's not how it works. The right person doesn't need to be convinced. They don't need to be impressed. They don't need you to perform. They just choose you. And you didn't. Not fully, not the way I needed. You made me feel like I had to earn you. But now I see it clearly. I was already enough. I just gave it to someone who couldn't see it, and that's not my fault. I didn't hide it, not really. Maybe at first, but not at the end. By the end, it was obvious in my voice, in my silence, in the way I looked at you, in the way I stopped pretending I was breaking right in front of you. And you saw it. It's the part that stays with me. Not that I broke, but that you watched it happen. You watched me break and said nothing. Not a word, not a reaction. You watched me break and said nothing. Like it didn't affect you, like it didn't matter. I remember that night we were sitting in the same room, same place we used to laugh, same place we used to feel like us. But everything felt different, heavy, still uncomfortable. And I tried to talk, I really did. I tried to explain how I was feeling, how things had changed, how I felt alone. Even when you were right there, and my voice, it wasn't steady, it wasn't controlled, it was real. And you just looked at me, no interruption, no question, no reaction, just silence. And that silence said more than anything. You watched me break and said nothing. And I kept going, I kept talking, trying to reach you, trying to get something, anything from you. But you didn't move, didn't react, didn't even try. And that's when it hit me, not slowly, not quietly, but all at once. I'm doing this alone, I'm feeling this alone, I'm carrying this alone. I remember the exact moment I stopped talking, mid-sentence, because I realized it didn't matter. Nothing I said was gonna reach you, because you were already gone, emotionally, mentally, completely. And I was just there, trying, still trying. You watched me break and said nothing. And I think that's what changed me. Not the pain, not the distance, but the realization that I could fall apart right in front of you. And you wouldn't even try to hold me together. And that's not love. Love reacts, love moves, love cares, even when it doesn't understand. But you didn't, and I can't ignore that. I can't pretend that didn't happen. I can't unsee what I felt in that moment. I remember how quiet it got after I stopped talking. No music, no movement, no words, just that silence that confirmed everything. You watched me break and said nothing. And now I don't need an explanation, I don't need closure, I don't need you to say anything, because your silence was the answer. And I finally heard it. I didn't say anything at first. That's the truth. I felt it, I saw it, I knew something wasn't right, but I stayed quiet, because I didn't want to believe it, because saying it out loud would make it real, and I wasn't ready for that. So I ignored it over and over until I couldn't anymore. I was losing myself, and you didn't even notice. Not slowly enough to ignore, not fast enough to react. I was losing myself, and you didn't even notice. And that's what broke me. Not just the loss, but the fact that you didn't see it happening. I remember how I used to be before all of this, before the silence, before the distance, before the confusion. I used to be present in my own life, in my own feelings, in my own thoughts. Now everything feels muted, like I'm holding back, even when I don't want to. I think before I speak, I pause before I react. I hold things in just to keep things stable, just to avoid tension, just to avoid feeling like I'm too much. I was losing myself, and you didn't even notice. And I don't know if that's worse than you knowing and not caring, because both feel the same. I remember one moment clear as anything. I was talking, trying to explain something that mattered to me, and you were listening, or at least you looked like you were. But halfway through, you picked up your phone, and I stopped mid-sentence, and you didn't even notice that I stopped. And that silence, that moment said everything, because I realized I'm here, but I'm not being seen, I'm speaking. But I'm not being heard, I'm trying. But I'm the only one. I was losing myself. And you didn't even notice. And I kept adjusting, I kept becoming quieter, less expressive, less real, just to make things easier for you, but harder for me. And that's where I went wrong. I made myself smaller just to fit into something that was already falling apart. I remember the exact moment everything shifted. Not during a fight, not during an argument, just a quiet realization. I was sitting there looking at you, and I thought, if I disappeared right now, would anything change? And that thought, that one thought was enough, because the answer didn't feel like yes. And that's when I understood, this isn't love anymore. This is distance, this is disconnection. This is me holding on to something that's already gone. I was losing myself, and you didn't even notice. And I stayed, even after realizing that, because I thought, if I tried harder, if I gave more, if I stayed longer, things would go back. But they didn't, because you weren't trying, you weren't noticing, you weren't there. The way I was losing myself, and you didn't even notice. And now I finally do, and I'm not losing myself anymore. I didn't see it happening, not in the moment, not day by day. Because change like that doesn't hit you all at once. It creeps in quietly, slowly, until one day you stop and realize you're not the same person anymore. I became someone I don't even recognize anymore. Not because I wanted to, but because I adapted. I became someone I don't even recognize anymore. Trying to fit into something that wasn't right. I remember how I used to be confident, open, unfiltered. I used to say what I felt without overthinking. I used to laugh freely without questioning. I used to exist without shrinking. Now everything feels controlled, measured, edited. I think before I speak, I pause before I react. I hold things in just to keep things calm, just to avoid tension, just to avoid that look, that sigh, the feeling of being too much. I became someone I don't even recognize anymore. And the worst part is, I didn't even notice when it started. I remember one moment clear as anything. I was talking and I stopped mid-sentence because I thought this might be too much, and I didn't finish. And that scared me because that wasn't me. That was someone trying to be accepted by someone who couldn't accept the real version. And I became someone I don't even recognize anymore. I stopped sharing, stopped expressing, stopped being real. Because every time I did, it felt like I was doing something wrong. And I started believing that, I started thinking maybe I should be easier, maybe I should be less emotional, maybe I should just let things go. But letting things go isn't the same as losing yourself. And that's what happened. I lost parts of me, little by little, without even realizing. I remember how I used to feel before all of this. Light, short, alive. Now I feel careful, tired, disconnected. Not just from you, but from myself. I became someone I don't even recognize anymore. And I stayed, even after feeling that, even after noticing. Because I thought if I just held on, things would go back. But they didn't, they just got quieter, heavier, more distant. And I kept adjusting, kept shrinking, kept becoming less, just to make things work. But that's not how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to lose yourself to keep someone. I remember the exact moment everything clicked. I was alone, looking at myself, thinking, if I met myself like this, would I recognize who I used to be? And the answer was no, and that broke me. Because I didn't just lose you, I lost me in the process. I became someone I don't even recognize anymore. But I'm coming back. But I'm coming back. I didn't notice it at first. That's the truth. Because it didn't happen all at once. It came in small moments, almost invisible. Easy to ignore, easy to explain away until it wasn't. Until it became impossible to pretend everything was fine. You made me feel replaceable, and I stayed anyway. Not because I didn't see it, but because I didn't want to believe it. You made me feel replaceable, and I stayed anyway. Even when it was right in front of me, I remember one moment clear as anything. We were sitting next to each other. You were laughing at your phone, smiling, typing, engaged in something that didn't include me. And I asked, what's so funny? You said nothing, and turned the screen away, like I wasn't part of your world anymore. And that feeling, that small shift stayed with me, because it wasn't about the phone, it was about what it meant. Distance, disconnection, a version of you that didn't include me. You made me feel replaceable, and I stayed anyway. I stayed when you stopped telling me things. I stayed when I found things out from other people. I stayed when I felt like I was no longer your first choice. I remember how it used to be. I used to be the first person you told things to, the first person you called, the first person you thought of. Now I feel like an option, like someone you talk to when there's nothing else going on. And I hated that feeling, but I didn't leave, and I don't know why. Maybe I thought, if I stay long enough, you'd come back. Maybe I thought, if I gave more, you'd see me again. Maybe I thought I could fix it, but I couldn't, because you can't fix being an option. You made me feel replaceable, and I stayed anyway. And that's the part I struggle to understand, not what you did, but what I allowed. Because I saw it, I felt it, I knew it, but I ignored it. Over and over, I told myself, don't overthink it. It's not that serious, they still care, but care shows up. Care is consistent. Care doesn't make you feel like you can be replaced at any moment. I remember one specific night, I was waiting for your message, checking my phone over and over, and you were online, talking to someone, just not me. And that feeling, that quiet rejection hit harder than anything else. Because it wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, it was silent, and that made it worse. You made me feel replaceable, and I stayed anyway. And I lost something in the process, not you, myself. Because I started accepting things I would have never accepted before. I lowered my standards, ignored my instincts, silenced my feelings just to keep you. And that's not love, that's fear. Fear of losing something, even when it's already gone. I remember the moment everything changed. I was sitting there, looking at everything, and I thought, if I leave, what do I actually lose? And the answer wasn't what I expected. I don't lose you, I lose the version of me that accepted less. And that's when it hit me. You made me
didn't happen during a fight. It didn't happen in a big moment. There was no explosion, no final argument, no dramatic ending. Just a quiet realization that changed everything. I finally saw you for who you are, not who I thought you were, not who you used to be. I finally saw you for who you are, and I couldn't unsee it. I remember that day. Nothing special, no tension, no pressure, just a normal moment. And maybe that's why it hit so hard, because there was nothing to distract me. No argument, no emotion, just clarity. You were talking, saying something, and for the first time I wasn't listening with hope, I was listening with understanding. And what I understood was simple: you were never gonna be what I needed. I finally saw you for who you are. And it wasn't hate, it wasn't anger, it was something else, something quieter, something more honest. Acceptance. I remember how I used to see you. I filled in the gaps, I ignored the signs, I made excuses. I created a version of you that made sense to me, that made staying easier. But that version was never real. And deep down I knew that I just didn't want to accept it, because accepting it means letting go. And I wasn't ready. I finally saw you for who you are. In the way you avoid things, in the way you stay silent, in the way you disconnect instead of fixing, instead of facing, instead of trying. And I stopped taking it personally. That's the part that changed everything, because it's not about me, it never was. It's about who you are and what you're capable of giving. And I was asking for something you were never able to give. I remember the moment everything shifted. I was sitting there looking at you, and I didn't feel confused anymore. I didn't feel lost, I didn't feel like I needed answers. I just understood in that kind of clarity. It's quiet, but it's powerful. I finally saw you for who you are. And I stopped trying, not because I stopped caring, but because I started seeing that trying wasn't changing anything. That effort was only coming from me, and that's not something you build on. That's something you walk away from. I remember how hard it used to be to imagine life without you. Now it feels different. Now it feels possible. Now it feels necessary, because staying means ignoring what I see. And I can't do that anymore. I finally saw you for who you are. And now I finally see what I need to do. think you realize how much I gave. Not just time, not just attention, everything. My patience, my understanding, my effort, my silence when I should have spoken my words, when I should have walked away. I gave you everything, and you still chose less. Not once, not by accident. I gave you everything, and you still chose less. Over and over, like it meant nothing. I remember how I used to show up, no matter what, no matter how I felt, no matter how tired I was. I was there, fully present, trying, even when it was hard, even when it didn't feel right. Because I believed in us. I believed that if I gave enough, if I stayed long enough, if I cared deeply enough, things would work. But they didn't, because effort from one side doesn't build anything, it just drains. I gave you everything, and you still chose less. You chose distance, you chose silence, you chose not to try, and that says everything. Because choices matter, even the ones you don't say out loud. I remember one moment, clear as anything. I was talking, trying to explain something important, and you weren't even listening, not really. You nodded, looked away, checked your phone, and I stopped mid-sentence, and you didn't even notice. And that's when it hit me, not slowly, not quietly, but all at once. I'm giving everything to someone who's barely giving anything back. I gave you everything, and you still chose less. And I stayed. That's the part that I still don't fully understand. Why I stayed, why I kept trying, why I kept believing in something that wasn't real anymore. Maybe I was holding on to who you used to be. Maybe I was afraid of letting go. Maybe I thought you'd come back, but you didn't. And I see that now, clearly, without excuses, without illusions, without hope, just truth. I gave you everything, and you still chose less. And that's not something I can ignore, not anymore. Because giving everything should mean something. It should matter, it should be valued, not overlooked, not taken for granted. I remember the moment everything changed. I wasn't angry, I wasn't emotional, I was calm, and that scared me. Because calm means it's over, not loud, not dramatic, just done. And I realized I don't wanna give like this anymore. Not to someone who doesn't see it, who doesn't match it, who doesn't value it. I gave you everything, and you still chose less. And now I'm choosing myself. People think it's simple, that you leave because you stop loving someone. That one day, it just ends and you walk away. But it wasn't like that. Not for me. I didn't leave because I stopped loving you. I left because loving you started hurting more than it felt right. I didn't leave because I stopped loving you. I left because I was losing myself, trying to hold on to you. I remember how long I stayed, even when things felt off, even when I noticed the distance, even when something inside me was telling me this isn't the same anymore. I stayed because I loved you, because I believed that love was enough, that if I just held on, if I just gave more, if I just tried harder, we'd find our way back. But we didn't, because love by itself isn't enough. Not when it's one-sided, not when it's unbalanced, not when it slowly starts to break you. I didn't leave because I stopped loving you, and that's what made it harder. Cause every step away felt wrong, even when I knew it was right. I remember the nights where I couldn't sleep, thinking about everything, replaying conversations, replaying moments, trying to understand what we changed, what I missed, what I could have done differently. But the truth is, there wasn't one moment, there wasn't one reason, it was everything adding up over time until it became too much. I didn't leave because I stopped loving you. I left because I started seeing clearly, seeing the distance, seeing the silence, seeing the lack of effort, seeing things the way they really were, not the way I wanted them to be. And that clarity, it doesn't come easy. It comes after a lot of denial, a lot of hoping, a lot of staying longer than you should. I remember the exact moment everything shifted. Not a fight, not a big moment, just a thought. If nothing changes, can I live like this? And the answer was no, and that scared me, because it meant I had to let go of something I still love. Not for anyone. I remember how hard it was to take that first step, to accept that loving you wasn't enough to make this work. And that's the hardest truth. Sometimes love is real, but it's not right, and you have to walk away, even when your heart doesn't want to. I didn't leave because I stopped loving you. I left because I finally understood what love should feel like. I didn't leave when it started hurting. That's the truth. I didn't leave when things changed. I didn't leave when I felt the distance. I didn't even leave when I knew something wasn't right. I stayed longer than I should have, longer than I needed to, longer than was healthy. I stayed until there was nothing left of me. Not all at once, but slowly. I stayed until there was nothing left of me. And I didn't even notice when I started disappearing. I remember how I used to be before everything got heavy, before everything felt complicated. I used to be present, I used to feel everything, I used to express everything. Now everything feels muted, like I'm holding back, even when I don't want to. I think before I speak, I pause before I react. I hold things in, just to keep things stable, just to avoid tension, just to avoid feeling like I'm too much. I stayed until there was nothing left of me. And I kept telling myself, it's just a phase, it'll get better, don't give up yet. But nothing changed, because I was the only one trying to change it. I remember one moment, clear as anything. I was talking, trying to explain something that mattered, and you weren't even listening. Not really, you nodded, looked away, checked your phone, and I stopped mid-sentence, and you didn't even notice. And that's when it hit me, not slowly, not quietly, but all at once. I'm here, but I don't exist to you anymore. I stayed until there was nothing left of me. And I hate that I stayed that long. I hate that I ignored the signs, ignored my instincts, ignored what I felt, just to keep you, but keeping you meant losing myself. And that's not worth it, not for anyone. I remember the exact moment everything changed. I wasn't emotional, I wasn't angry, I was calm, and that scared me, because calm means you're done. Not loud, not dramatic, just finished. I looked at you, and I didn't feel confusion anymore. I didn't feel hope, I didn't feel like trying. I just felt empty. And that's when I knew there's nothing left to fix, because there's nothing left of me. I stayed until there was nothing left of me.